So here's some key points, family, from chapter 4, which is called the lucid self. I have a question that I didn't write down, but I'm just interested to know: is anyone in the chat familiar with lucid dreaming? Have you ever had any lucid dreaming experiences? And if you have, feel free to let us know. You can type it in the chat, or please put it on the Padlet so other people can read and learn more about what that is. If you weren't here in the beginning when we first opened up this chapter, all opened up talking about lucid dreams, where it's like you're in a dream having an experience, but you're aware that you're having an experience. So like the kind of dreams where you might be experiencing yourself flying, and you are actually aware that you're flying, and you're like, I'm gonna go over there and fly. And when you come back to being awake in the 3D realm, you have a full recollection of that. So just curious to know if there's anyone here today who had experience with that. The most prevalent lucid dreaming experience that I now I have had lucid dreaming experiences since then, but the one, well, how fuck long was I there? How long was I in there? How long was I in there? Because I was going in. Okay. How long was I in there? What is the last thing you heard? But what's the last thing you heard? Like 10, 15 seconds? All right. Okay. Okay. Lucid dreaming? Okay. Thank you. Who's done it? Okay. So that's okay. I just want to make sure that we was on the same page. So that's what I was asking y'all. Did you hear my experience about lucid dreaming? You didn't hear none of that? I'll say that again. Okay. Go ahead and refresh. And when you let me know when you get back, because I'm gonna talk about my little lucid dreaming experience that I remember having. It's not even gonna call it little. I think I'm calling it little because I had it when I was a little child. Like I was a girl. Y'all, you could not. I would almost love to get my niece on the phone right now, yo. You could not convince me when I was a child that I could not fucking fly. Yo, my goodness, y'all. Like, I'm getting so excited to thinking about it. You could not convince me when I was a child that my little butt tail did not have wings. I knew that I had wings, yo, and I knew that I could fly because I was lucid dreaming all of the time about flying. And I used to fly. I never took the stairs. That was the thing. This was how I traveled when I would dream. I did not take the stairs. I only would, and it wasn't even like a flying. It was more like a floaty thing. But I would float up and down staircases. Never took stairs in my dreams. And when I would wake, so come on, y'all. This is a story for a reason. So, I believe this is like my 5th birthday, 5th solar return, 5th trip around the sun as a young John, West Philly. And I was having a celebration at the house. Family is there. And all I remember is going down the stairs in the way that I know how. Because I know how to fly, damn it. But maybe I can only do that in the astral realm when I'm dreaming, when my human self is asleep. Because baby, when I say I fell down all them steps, I fell down all them steps at my party. Had a bloody lip. So yeah. All that to say it was such a real experience for me, y'all. It was so real to me that I felt that I could do it in my 3D waking life. And I ended up falling down the stairs. But I used to fly as a child in my dreams all the time. And I would, if there's anybody in here listening, whether you're watching live or watching the VOD, if you have children, ask them about their dreams and ask them about these lucid experience. Ask if they fly. Y'all might be surprised at the type of information that our children are able to give back to us. So here we go. So that was the thing about lucid dreaming. So some key points in our chapter today. Consciousness is the subject that can focus on many objects, and it's basic, it's foundational, and very important for us to remember. I'm moving energy. Grateful. Very important for us to remember, because that's the thing that safeguards us and keeps us from thinking that we are the sum of our experiences. TV plays with our consciousness. I think that I love the examples that Michael Singer gives in his book, and I think that this example, using it like saying like when you sit down and you watch TV, you could get so engraved in this and so lost in it rather that you will forget. Sun done gone down. You might have to go, you go use the bathroom. You might forget all these things because you're so lost in the movie or the TV show. And then the relationship between our senses and our consciousness. Y'all, this was the game changer for me. So I shared with you in previous reads of this that when I first, the first few chapters, I didn't like. I was like, the fuck is this? I ain't with this. I was not, it didn't resonate, didn't land. And I felt, I didn't like how he was talking. I just was like, who are you talking to? Like, you don't know my life type shit. It wasn't until I got to page 34, which is in chapter 4, The Lucid Self, where he was talking about, he said, the passage that begins, let's move from the small screen to the big one and study the consciousness using the example of a movie. That whole example of using the example of a movie with the advanced movie thing and the whole synchronization of your senses, that for me is what sold me to continue reading this. Because it came to me, and I have wrote this sticky note right here. Y'all probably can't see. I'm not expecting you to be able to see it from here, but that's where this came from. That's where this came from. If they can hijack your senses, they can hijack your consciousness. That's where that download in form of a quote came from. Through me after I read this, because I thought about, holy wow. Look at all of the ways that our consciousness is hijacked by way of the senses. I think something that made me think about it on a very profound level was an amusement park, and how much of, especially Disney parks. If you're ever curious to do a YouTube search and watch a YouTube video of a behind the scenes of the Disney parks and just the different things that they do to manipulate us on a sensory level, realizing that the more we are manipulated on a sensory level, it's also doing something to warp our consciousness. So, this could be why you could end up, at the park for all these hours and not feel tired till you realize, oh shoot, I've been here for 12 hours. What the hell? Just an example. So I thought about that. I also thought a lot about with this whole TV analogy, and if you sit in a TV and you get absorbed in the television and that's the only thing you're watching, it made me think about the fact that the physical body itself is the one part of our nature that is always with us in the present moment. So like the body's not leaving, but if the consciousness if we allow it to, it can leave. It can go into the movies universe. It can go into our past. It can go into the future. So again, remember what I said earlier. The more you already feel connected to your body, the more you already have a connection to yourself within your body, the themes in this book are going to be a lot easier to understand and a lot easier to access, in my opinion. Someone may say different, but that's how I feel. So anything else I want to lift up before we get into the official discussion questions? Let me see. And please feel free to share what you're thinking about this as well, y'all. Like, we're all experts because we're all living our own lives, and we're all living our own lives through our own experiences. So everyone has an expert opinion about this. Let me see. Is there a quote I want to lift up on page 33? Yes, the quote, just as the sun does not leave its position in the sky to illuminate objects with its radiating light, so consciousness does not leave its center to project awareness onto the objects of form, thoughts, and emotions. So the sun is if we're gonna if we need to have if we need to have something tangible to compare consciousness to, let's use the sun, because the sun is a thing that is constant. So does it move? All right, yeah, like it does, like do its thing, like, right? But overall, it's a consistent thing, and it doesn't say like, oh, you're being kind, so I'm going to take all of my light and shine on you, and I'm not going to shine on all these people who are over there being evil. Like, it's not like that. Like, sun come up and shine on, I'm not, you know what I mean? I don't need to name any names, but you know evildoers in the world. The sun get up and shine on them too. So what does that say to me about how I interact and how I perceive my own self as consciousness? Don't allow my consciousness to be easily distracted by external things more than the internal things. Consciousness is neutral. It's just aware that it's aware. So when it's not centered within, when it's not centered, it can start to focus on the objects too long and think that it is that. Is there anything? I think that's all I wanted to say about that before I show y'all something that's related to this. Boom. Here's our question. So, anyone want to share? You're welcome to share in the chat and also in our Padlet. What's coming up for you? What did you think of the movie analogies? What parallels or connections can you make with consciousness and virtual reality? That's a big one. I would love to know what your thoughts are on that. And where do you focus your awareness? Because remember, Singer talks about how it's where we focus our awareness that our consciousness is where the energy of our consciousness goes. So where do you focus your awareness? Are you focusing your awareness on limited objects? And that question wasn't written down. I just said that. And then another question is, how can you become more conscious of where you're focusing your awareness? You know what I'm saying? How can you be more conscious of where you focus your awareness? Let's get into the let's get into the Padlet. I want to show it on the screen so y'all can see. Yes. Okay. So Juice has answered our virtual reality question. Let me see what you say. With virtual, you can create your own reality. With your consciousness, you can do the same thing. However, you can live in what you created. Yes, absolutely. So Juice, can we go deeper? Why can you say more about what you mean by that? With virtual, you can create your own reality. What are you creating? What could be created in terms of a virtual reality? That's big. That's deep. That's some deep shit. I'm just holding space for Juice to type his answer. Not answer, his response. I don't want to say like answer like I'm like questioning y'all like it's a test or something. But the questions that I offer are, of course, questions that I ask myself when I'm reading this, because these are questions that help me to think about myself and on a deeper level, even more. And I guess my follow-up question to you, Juice, is you said with your consciousness, you can do the same thing. However, you can live in what you created. So I'm gonna ask this question right on here, because perhaps it will spark a discussion for others. I love this. Um, how is So I guess my question to you is, how is virtual reality like our consciousness in terms of creation? I think that I think that this is going to help us get really, really clear about what the nature of consciousness is. About what the nature of consciousness is. Like, I can design a house plan through virtual reality and through my consciousness. Right. So what I hear Juice saying is that he can pick up an Oculus or whatever them goggles is called. He can press the button, turn the thing on. He can start going to town, designing a house plan while he's sitting in his living room. Is that what you mean, Juice? I'm just trying to be clear about what you're saying. While you're sitting in your living room, you can put this device on and create a thing by using all of these tools provided within the thing. Right. Okay. And so our consciousness is able to do the same. Create a plan using tools that are within. But the difference is that because I created it with my pure consciousness, I can actually live my natural life in it. Whereas if I create it solely with the virtual reality goggles and that whole system, I'm not able to fully live the fullest expression of my life in that way. Is that what you're saying? I'm just trying to get real clear. Just trying to get real clear. Is that what you're saying? Okay. I agree with that. I am in agreement with that. Thank you for lifting that up for us. Don't y'all just love this book? Okay. What else is in here for us today? Let me see if there's anything that I missed. Where do you focus your awareness? This is more of an open-ended question and not even something for you to like, you don't have to list your things extensively here, but if you are a person who meditates or contemplates or journals, like, ask yourself this question. Where do you focus your awareness? Because where you focus your awareness has a lot to do with what you consume. And what you consume is within, and then what is within is what we project out. So if what we're looking at in our outer world isn't reflective of what we think we want, it's because whatever we think we want isn't yet really congruent. We think we want it, but there's some type of disturbance happening that is keeping us from it. They did not want me to say that one. Wow. Like as soon as I finished saying it, I came out the matrix. But the entire time I was saying it, I was in there. I know I'm back now. Thank you. Um, it's over now. It's gone. Wow. Um, Thank you for helping me express that in a more powerful way. Juice, you expressed it in a very powerful way when you first said it. There's nothing wrong or less powerful with how you said it the first time. I restated it in a way that helped me gain more clarity. You know? Um, because I wanted to very much clarify, um, because here's why I keep saying, like, don't we cannot underestimate the power of our internal energy. And so if I can do the same thing with the virtual reality apparatus and technology that I can do with my divine natural intelligence and technology within, then why wouldn't I do that? Like, why would I say, I'm gonna tell you why I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that because it's too fucking hard. I wouldn't do that because that's actually harder. It's harder to clean out all of the shit that has been stuck within my energy for all of this time. It is just way too hard to do that. It sucks. It's sad. I don't want to think about it. It makes me cry. I'd rather have some fucking ice cream or go get fucked or something than to think about this shit. That's why. That's why I'd rather go put on the Oculus and live out my dreams that way, because it's easier, damn it. I know why. But it being easier doesn't make it right for me. And it being easier doesn't mean that it's also the healthiest. It being easier doesn't mean that it's the most natural. It's just easier. And easy and ease don't need to be synonymous, not in this situation. So that's why I had to say it in that. That's why I restated it in that way, Juice, to help us remember that the virtual reality apparatus and technology is copying the divine intelligence, the natural divine intelligence that I am, that you are. It is a copy of that. And it costs a lot of money too. I get it. Like all of this stuff is a scheme and a scam to make us feel like the true luxury and the true value is outside of ourselves, when it's not. It's inside of ourselves, and they know that. But you gotta know that. Use this. No. Okay. All right. What else did I want to say here? So when I jumped in the matrix, or when I was in the matrix just now, what I was saying, the where do you focus your awareness question. If you're a person who journals or meditates, please spend some time with yourself to answer that question. Oh, this was the affirmation I wanted to write. So an idea just came to me that I thought about early this rising, and I forgot what it was, and it just came back to me just now. So I had to write it down now. Excuse me. If you're a person who journals, spend some time with yourself and ask yourself that question: where do I focus my awareness? Even if you think, I already know where I focus my awareness. Like, I know you think you do. I thought I did too. Until I did this work and I was like, oh shoot, there were some blind spots. We all have blind spots. Even the greatest sports athletes have blind spots. That's why they have coaches to help them work through them. So, you know, where do you focus your awareness is an important question, because where we focus our awareness is related to what we consume mentally and emotionally. So, and what we consume ends up here inside, and then and if we don't if it doesn't belong within us and we don't process and release it, it's going to stay in there and end up being involved in what we project out into the world as our external reality. I'm not saying it again, but that's what I said the first time and the second time I was in the Matrix. And then after you figure that out, after you've determined like where you focus your awareness, then you can um, ask questions about, how can I become more conscious of where I focus my awareness. But you know what just came to me, y'all, on some real shit? Um, Even before asking where I focus my awareness, you have to want to know. So I'm not here to make, you know what I mean? There is a prerequisite to doing this kind of work. You have to become aware that there's work to even do. So first, decide whether or not you would like to know where your consciousness has been focusing all this time. If you're ready to know that, then ask yourself the question, where do I focus my awareness? If you're not ready to know that because you like the life that you live, because you like how things are going, because you don't think anything's wrong, because you feel like everything is already perfect and there's no additional room for growth, then don't do any of this. But if you feel like you could grow some more, then I'm offering a suggested next step. Where do you focus your awareness is a really good place to start. Okay.